Manchester United exploring swap deal involving Jared Branthwaite and two Manchester United stars. Manuel Ugarte apparently interested in a loan to buy deal with PSG, plus all of the latest on Joshua Zirkzee, Erik ten Hag's new contract, and also Ruud van Nistelrooy. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this evening's live show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Let's try and see 200 likes on this evening's show. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. YouTube analytics tell me that only 50% of people who watch these streams are subscribed. So if you're one of those people who isn't subscribed, please do get involved. We're live every single day at 8:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. UK time for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Right, so let's jump straight into this Manuel Ugarte story then, because this one obviously broke earlier on today. I did do a dedicated video about this one at lunchtime, so if you do want to go back and watch that, then obviously you're welcome to do that. But I will give you a bit of an update as to where we are. So the story first came out from L'Equipe, which is a French newspaper. Then Sky Sports reported it. And then literally every journalist in the UK has been reporting the same story, that apparently Manchester United have approached PSG to sign 23-year-old Uruguayan international Manuel Ugarte, 23 years of age. We tried to sign him last season before he moved to PSG. He was playing for Sporting Lisbon in the Portuguese league, and PSG bought him this time last year for 60 million euros. He hasn't had that many opportunities at PSG. Now, that's not because he's a bad player. He is considered one of the best central defensive midfielders in world football. The reason why he hasn't played is purely because of the other options that PSG have, and also because of the surprise emergence of Warren Zaire-Emery, who is only 18 years of age, who's just broke through into the PSG side this season. So he's been a little bit unfortunate. Obviously, they've got Vitinha as well. They've got some really, really good players in that midfield position. So he's only played about 20 games this season across about a 50-game season. So he's not actually featured that much for PSG. Which it's not because he's a bad player, as I said. It's simply just because PSG have other options. Obviously, this Zaire-Emery guy's come through the youth academy and has just broke through into the first team. He's in the French national team now as well. So it's just been a little bit unfortunate for Ugarte. But this does now mean that Manchester United have an opportunity, because apparently he wants to play more football. You know, he's not happy with his involvement at PSG. And Manchester United desperately need a CDM. More than anything. That's probably our most important position at the moment. And the report this evening is that apparently Manchester United are looking to do a loan with an option to buy at the end of it. And you know what? I think it would be absolutely incredible. His wages aren't very big. He's only on about 100k a week. So it would be a really, really good deal for Manchester United to do. He's not going to break the bank. And bringing him in will allow us to move on people like Eriksen and Casemiro, because effectively you're strengthening the squad with a younger and better player, effectively. Someone more athletic, someone at the very early stages of their career, effectively, 23. Somebody who can come in and effectively cement themselves in that first team. Whereas Casemiro, even when he's playing well, seems to get injured a lot, seems to pick up quite a lot of suspensions, a lot of red cards. The same with Christian Eriksen. He doesn't seem to be able to play a full 90 minutes in the Premier League anymore. He can do 60 minutes perfectly. But about the 50, 60 minute mark, he starts to tire and we have to look for other options. Whereas someone like Manuel Ugarte could literally run that midfield alongside Bruno Fernandes and Kobe Mainoo. And it really excites me. It really does. But it'll be interesting to see what you guys think about Manuel Ugarte. Do you think Manchester United should go for him? We are in talks with him right now. So hopefully we get this deal done, because I think he'd be a quality signing, and I think it's a win-win for everybody. But let me know what you guys think about Manuel Ugarte in the comment section below. Somebody says, I don't think PSG will let him leave. The news I've had this evening is that apparently PSG are willing to get rid of him, because, as I said, PSG have got lots of options in that midfield position. They weren't expecting Zaire-Emery to break through into the first team like he has, and that's why they bought Manuel Ugarte in the first place, because they had a gap in their midfield. But with the emergence of this Zaire-Emery guy, who's only 18 years of age, it's kind of like Kobe Mainoo at Man United. It's someone who has broke through into the first team and no one expected to be playing every single game, and they've just completely held down that position. So yeah, I think it would be really, really good. But my preference would definitely be to go for a loan with either an option to buy or an obligation to buy. If we were to buy him, he's probably going to cost about £50 million. Apparently, PSG want to recoup all of the money they invested in him last summer, which was 60 million euros or £50 million if you're obviously, if you do your calculations in pounds. But yeah, I would really, really like to see this deal happen. But you can let me know in the comment section. Would you like to see Manuel Ugarte come to Manchester United? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Everyone who's just joined the video in the last couple of seconds, if you could do me a small favor and smash a like, that would be really, really appreciated. We've got over 200 people watching live right now, which is amazing. I've set a likes target of 200 likes for today's video. So if you have just joined the stream and you haven't liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It doesn't cost any money. It's completely free, and it really, really helps to bring in new people to the channel. And if this is your first time watching, make sure you subscribe as well. We hit 24,000 subscribers earlier on today, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you to everybody. But yeah, let's try and get to the next target. So if anybody's new, please do subscribe, get involved. I'm live every single day in the morning and in the evening. Okay, so Manuel Ugarte we've spoke about. Let's move over to Jarrad Branthwaite. So we all know that Manchester United submitted a bid 2 weeks ago now of 35 million plus £8 million in add-ons for Everton centre-back Jarrad Branthwaite. That was rejected by Everton. They said, that's a joke. We want 70 million. And for the last 2 weeks, there's been ongoing negotiations between Manchester United and Everton to try and find a middle ground in the transfer. Now, the news we're getting this evening is that apparently Everton want to sign Victor Lindelof and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And apparently they've approached Manchester United to get information for those two players. Now, I'm seeing a swap deal here. I think it would be perfect. Manchester United want to sell Victor Lindelof. That's been widely reported. And they also want to sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka, with apparently Galatasaray submitting a bid recently for Wan-Bissaka of around 10 million euros, which I think is an absolute disgrace. That's ridiculous. He's worth at least 20 million pounds. He's a quality player, Wan-Bissaka. I just think he's very limited going forward. And I think in an Erik ten Hag style setup, where your right backs need to push really high up the pitch and offer something offensively, Wan-Bissaka can't do that. So I would definitely look to move Wan-Bissaka on. And if we can, do some sort of deal where Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka go to Everton and we bring in Jarrad Branthwaite, I think it would be win-win for everybody. It would massively improve Everton's team because, Lindelof would probably do really well at Everton because Everton play a low block. They're very defensive. And I think Victor Lindelof is actually quite good at doing that. The same with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. In a low block team where you're not really expected to attack too much, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is probably one of the best right backs in the world. But in an Erik ten Hag style system, as I said, where your right back's expected to bomb down the wing, Wan-Bissaka kind of runs down there and just looks a bit confused and doesn't know where to go. So yeah, I think if we could send both of them over there and bring Branthwaite in exchange, I think it's win-win for everybody. I really, really do. Because even if you look at the wages, right? You look at Lindelof's wages and you look at Wan-Bissaka's wages. One of the big tasks for Ineos has been to remove some of the higher earners at Manchester United, right? Victor Lindelof is on £120,000 a week, which he's in the top 10 of the highest earners at Manchester United. He's on a considerable amount of money, right? And then Wan-Bissaka's on about 100k a week as well. So if you were to remove both of those players, you'd save about £11 million per season in wages, which is really, really needed at the moment. Jarrad Branthwaite apparently is desperate to come to Manchester United. He is waiting for Manchester United. He doesn't want to stay at Everton and he doesn't want to move anywhere else. Man United have already agreed personal terms with Jarrad Branthwaite. The contract would be worth somewhere around £140,000 a week, which is a lot of money, but it's not ridiculous money. At the moment, he's only on about 35k a week at Everton, which is a very small amount of money. But yeah, 140k a week, I would have no issues with. Obviously, when you consider you'd be saving 120k a week in Lindelof's wages and about 100k a week in Wan-Bissaka's wages, it kind of levels out. But hopefully this materialises and hopefully Manchester United manage to get this deal over the line, because I think it would be really, really good. David says, everyone who says Branthwaite isn't worth the price, how much did we pay for Maguire? The thing is, though, mate, just because we paid 70 million for Maguire doesn't mean that he's worth that. You know, Man United have notoriously overspent on transfers over the last decade. So, you know, just because we overspent on Maguire doesn't mean we should overspend on Branthwaite. He's not worth 70 million. There's no way. He's probably worth 40 tops, maybe 50. That's why I think this Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka kind of swap deal has some legs to it, because Wan-Bissaka's probably worth, 20 million, I reckon, and Lindelof's probably worth about 10 million. So if you sent both of them that way, and we had Branthwaite coming back the other direction, I think overall it's probably a pretty fair deal. Maybe there's a world where Everton come back in for Harry Maguire as well. You know, maybe they look like a Scott McTominay. I don't know. I definitely think there's deals there to be done. Everton are trying to play hardball, but Manchester United and Everton have always had a good relationship when it comes to transfers. You think Wayne Rooney to Manchester United, you think Schneiderlin to Manchester United, Fellaini, we loaned them Donny van der Beek, we sold them James Garner a couple of years ago. Man United have always had a good relationship with Everton, with players going backwards and forwards. So I am pretty confident that this deal will happen. It's just a matter of when, not if. But let me know what you guys think. Would you swap? Let's do a little poll, shall we? Let's do this. So the question's going to be this. Would you swap Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka in exchange for Branthwaite? Let me know in the comments section if you're watching this back on repeat. The question is this. Would you swap Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka in exchange for Jarrad Branthwaite? Let me know what you think. As I said, right, I do really, really like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I just don't think he suits an Erik ten Hag style team. I think he suits a more defensive-minded team. So for that reason, I probably would let him go. And I probably would do this swap deal if it happens. But if we were to do that, it would then mean that we need to sign a new right back, because obviously we'd be losing a right back, you know? So that would obviously mean that some of our budget for this summer would have to go in that right back position. But I think most Man United fans feel that we need a new right back or left back this summer, realistically, because of obviously the injury crisis we've had in those positions and the lack of options we have. And so it'd be interesting to see what people think. Okay, let's move on from that, though. Let's talk about Kobbie Mainoo quickly. This story has completely blown my mind. Apparently, the story in Spain this evening is that apparently Barcelona are going to try and buy Kobbie Mainoo. And apparently, what they're going to suggest is that they do a swap deal involving De Jong for Kobbie Mainoo. I mean, I wouldn't do that. Not in a million years. I don't care whether he's Erik ten Hag's favourite player. I don't care whether Erik ten Hag's desperate for Frankie de Jong. Not in a million years would I swap Kobbie Mainoo for Frankie de Jong. I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't. And I know some people might say, oh, well, Frankie de Jong's, achieved more and all the rest of it. I think Kobbie Mainoo at the age of 18 is not far off being the level of Frankie de Jong, genuinely. I'm not even joking. And Frankie de Jong's on about 700k a week. Absolutely ridiculous. So I wouldn't do that in a million years. No way. But you can let me know in the comment section. Would you swap Kobbie Mainoo in exchange for Frankie de Jong? I imagine this deal will be laughed off by Manchester United. They'll say, you're a bunch of jokers. We had a deal 2 years ago. We had an offer accepted for Frankie de Jong, and then the player didn't want to move. We don't want Frankie de Jong. He doesn't want to be here. No, Frankie de Jong, you're not welcome at Manchester United. I say that. I would love Frankie de Jong to play for Man United, but not in exchange for Kobbie Mainoo, And you always know that in the back of your head, Frankie de Jong didn't want to come to Manchester United. He wanted to stay at Barcelona. So why would you actively bring in a player who doesn't want to come to Manchester United, You shouldn't. It doesn't make any sense. So I honestly, I think this story is an absolute joke. But obviously it's a news show, so I'm gonna read it out anyway. There was just a quick one as well that I wanted to kind of chat to everyone about and see what your opinions are. But the Manchester Evening News are reporting this evening that apparently Diogo Dalot is being considered as a potential future captain for Manchester United as and when Bruno Fernandes leaves. What does everybody think of that? Could you see Diogo Dalot being a Manchester United captain? I don't know. I like Diogo Dalot, but I think that's a little bit far-fetched for me personally. Like Martinez would be the captain for me if Bruno Fernandes left, without a shadow of a doubt. Martinez is the obvious option to be the Manchester United captain. Like, without even thinking about it, it would be Martinez for me. But I do like Dalot, and I do think he has a good presence on the pitch. And, he does seem to have that elite mentality, and he works hard, and he's got the right attitude and all of those things. But, yeah, I think it's maybe a little bit early for Diogo Dalot to be the next Manchester United captain, to be honest. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Austria have just scored against Netherlands 2-1. Honestly, the media are not going to know what to do with themselves, are they? They branded him a clown at Manchester United. They laughed him out of England. But Austria are about to qualify second in their group, and Netherlands are going to be third. It's mad. Absolutely crazy. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Everyone who's just joined the video, we've got over 300 of you watching now, which is amazing. Please give the video a quick thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. We are only a couple of subscribers away from 24,100. So if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe. Let's try and hit 24,100 by the end of today. Okay. I'll come back to the comment section in a minute. I wanted to talk a little bit about Erik ten Hag's new contract at Manchester United. This is coming out from Fabrizio Romano, and he is reporting this evening that Erik ten Hag is set to sign a new contract at Manchester United. He says that the deal is now almost agreed. Amazing. I could not be more happy about that. I think it's the right decision. I think Erik ten Hag is the correct man, and I think he will bring us the success that we all want. And being completely honest with you, we've won 2 trophies back to back. We hadn't won a trophy for 6 years before Erik ten Hag came in. And in the last 2 seasons, we won the League Cup, got to an FA Cup final, and then won the FA Cup last season. Like, I'm really, really happy. When you take away the emotion of the bad Champions League run and finishing 8th, football is about winning trophies. Erik ten Hag came into a broken club with a broken squad who hadn't won any silverware for 6 years. I don't care about finishing 4th and getting Champions League every season and then getting knocked out in the group stage. Like, that's not what Manchester United are about. Manchester United are about winning trophies at the end of the day, and finishing in the top 4 is not a trophy. It might be for Tottenham, it might be for Arsenal, but it should never be for Manchester United. We should always be aiming to win trophies. But also, you have to be realistic at the same time, right? The season before last, winning the League Cup was a massive achievement for us because we hadn't won anything for 6 years. And this season, for us to win the FA Cup and to beat Man City, probably the best footballing side in the world after Real Madrid at the moment, was a massive achievement for us. And we have to give Erik ten Hag credit for that. We've got to believe in the process. We've got to get behind him. Ineos have done a thorough investigation, if you like, into the management, and they've decided to stick with him, and he will be getting a new contract. And this story gets even better because Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Ruud van Nistelrooy is now getting closer to signing a contract as a new coach in Erik ten Hag's staff. So my understanding is that it will be announced in the next couple of days that Erik ten Hag has signed a new contract and Ruud van Nistelrooy will be the Manchester United assistant manager. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. So good. So good. I think that's going to be a massive improvement. I'll be honest, I don't know that much about Mitchell van der Gaag, the current assistant manager, but yeah, what I have seen of Ruud van Nistelrooy is he's a really, really good coach. He's done amazing things at PSV. Obviously, he knows Manchester United like the back of his hand. He's a legend of the club. I would love to see Ten Hag and Ruud van Nistelrooy on the sidelines for Manchester United. It would be absolutely amazing. And it looks like that's probably what's going to happen. So congratulations to Erik ten Hag. You deserve your new contract, in my opinion. And also congratulations and welcome to Ruud van Nistelrooy, because it's a nostalgic moment, isn't it, for us Manchester United fans to see Ruud van Nistelrooy come back, to see him go off, develop himself as a coach, and then to come back into Manchester United. And as Fred says in the chat, the Ineos plan is coming together. It is. I think it is. And I think Ineos have made the correct decision here. And we have to give them time to implement their ideas and to back the manager. That's what we all have to do. Next season might be difficult, you know. We might be battling for top 4. It might be a difficult season. It's not going to be, you know, we're not going to be winning the title next season, I very much doubt. So we've got to be patient. We've got to give them time. And we've got to give Erik ten Hag and Ruud van Nistelrooy time as well, okay? But yeah, let me know what you guys all think about that one. Are you happy that Erik ten Hag is about to sign his new contract? Are you happy that Ruud van Nistelrooy will be the assistant? Let me know what you think. Somebody says, what's happening to the current assistant manager? Apparently his contract expired. So did Benny McCarthy and so did Steve McLaren. Apparently all of their contracts have expired and Ineos want to assemble a new backroom staff. And part of that backroom staff will be Ruud van Nistelrooy. That's what I've been told anyway. So it might be that Benny McCarthy, Steve McLaren and Mitchell van der Gaag aren't here next season, which I'll be honest, I've got no issue with, like, being completely honest. I think Steve McLaren, obviously, he's been around for a long time. I don't think he's very current. I don't think he's very relevant in football anymore. Benny McCarthy, I don't know. I know in the first season he was here, people really were speaking highly of him, but last season our goal scoring was terrible. So I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And as I said, Mitchell van der Gaag, I don't really know much about other than that I've seen him driving a yellow Lamborghini, which I thought was a bit mad. But I don't know much about Mitchell van der Gaag, to be honest. I know Ajax were interested in him becoming the manager, but that never materialised. So I'm not going to sit here and slag these people off because I don't really know too much about Mitchell van der Gaag. But Benny McCarthy, like, he was the Cape Town manager before. Like, he's not, I don't think he's the best in class, being completely honest. I don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone else will say Benny McCarthy's amazing. Yeah, people are asking about an update on Joshua Zirkzee. Yes, we can do a quick update on Joshua Zirkzee before we end the video, sure. So Joshua Zirkzee, the situation remains the same. Sky Sports reported earlier on today that apparently Manchester United have triggered his release clause, which is £34 million. So that's fine, that's done. But they still need to agree personal terms with the player. The news I'm getting this evening is that apparently Man United remain in talks with Joshua Zirkzee's representatives over a contract, over the agent fee, etc. I think this deal will happen. Joshua Zirkzee has apparently said that there's not going to be any definitive update on his future until after the Euros. The Euros finishes in like 2 weeks. Obviously, Netherlands could get knocked out before that. I'm just having a look. So at the moment, the Netherlands are in third place. I think they qualify in third. Let me know in the comments section. It's really confusing, the whole third place qualify thing. If anybody knows if Netherlands are going to qualify, let me know. They're currently sat in third in their group. Austria are on 6 points. France are on 7. So I think if England finish top of their group, they might play Netherlands in the next round. So we should know, I reckon, by next week about Joshua Zirkzee. So yeah, positive. But I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. It's been an amazing stream this evening. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined me on the show tonight. I will be back live at 8:30 a.m. UK time. It's a new time for the summer. 8:30 a.m. UK time. Make sure you join me for that. Have a great evening, everybody. Please make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been Daily Red Devil. Have an amazing evening. Go and enjoy all the amazing football we've got on tonight, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.